All right. All right. Shalom, peace, and peace to the brothers, man. Scattered four corners of the earth. Most notably, peace to the brothers in America. The FBA, aka the Israelite man in America. Shalom and peace to you. I've finally gotten around to making finally a whole new channel on YouTube. I finally got my lazy butt up to make a new channel dedicated strictly to Keisha's betrayals and Keisha's innermost hatred towards black men, right? And her family and people who look like her. So this channel is dedicated, brothers. This is a treat for you, brothers. This is a channel dedicated to understand the psychology of how Keisha moves, what she does, why she does what she does, and etc. etc. This channel is dedicated to expose and further explain to you, brothers, that Keisha has never been on your side since the days of slavery. She has never been on your side. So what is the backstory on this one? So this is chick is supposed to go by the name of Amber Colored Eyes or Amber Colored Girl, whatever, right? And this Keisha was married to a white man, Brad, Chad Thundercock, whatever you want to call him, Caucasian man, right? Edomite, whatever you want to call him. She was married to this man, and they had children, blah blah blah, and he passed away, right? And for some odd reason, she's been going on a tirade talking about black men and their white female counterparts, right? You know how white women, when they're the mothers of mixed children, don't go through oppression, but black mothers, who is the mothers of mixed children, do go through oppression. Even though both sides, those both mongrel children, right, will forever always be seen as black, even though they're really not, but they will always be treated way different, right? But that's not the whole point of this content. There was a specific part of her content that really, really, really got me to where I'm like, yeah, this is it. This, this has to be explained to the brothers. This literally has to be shown, right? I literally have to make this channel and get this video, this content going. So here I am. I'm gonna give y'all a biblical, wise breakdown of the nonsense they say, right? Now this content may not be a little too light, maybe too harsh and rough for the simps. I tell you, if you're a simp, if you're about protecting these Keishas, right? If you're about protecting these Keishas, if you're about trying to work it out with these Keishas, you're on the wrong channel. This channel is not for you. This channel is for productive, responsible, strong, spiritually minded, biblical practicing Israelite men who walked away and want nothing to do with these Keishas. But since they can't keep their damn our identity or everything related to us out of their damn mouth in retrospect of them worshiping Chad Thundercock, we're gonna you know, hold them accountable, right? We're gonna put a foot up their behinds. That's what we're going to do. And that's what this channel is dedicated to. So here we go. Let's see what this loudmouth has to say.
Strongest links right there, right? And I love them. I do. It's hard to love. It's very hard to love them. All right, but I do. But black men don't do much of nothing. They complain. They talk. They whine. The majority of them whine. Just watch the comments. Just please, just watch the comments. It's gonna come on this video.
Now, this Keisha is complaining. If you can see, she's responding to the comments between, you know, black women and white men in an interracial union. She claims that black men whine and complain and blah 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 on a comment board, but every demographic whines and complains about something. See, there's a major difference, Keisha, between what black men complain about and what you complain about and what Brad complain about or Chad Thundercock, what he complains about, right? There's a major difference. Black men complain about stuff that negatively impacts their livelihood, right? Child support, right? Driving while black, redlining, discriminational practices preventing them from being hired, the prison industrial complex. These things affect black men negatively. Chad Thundercock, right? He complains about wokeness, stuff that doesn't have an impact on his personal livelihood. And let me tell you something on how these Keishas proof that they worship, white people. They literally have this magical understanding that all white people have money, all white people are successful, all white people are good, of open, great nature, right? All white people are intelligent. The way they do things is the right way, etc., etc. This is what this Keisha thinks. And this comes from a lack of spending time around these people. Now, she is married to a Caucasian Brad, right? But the interesting thought about this is that, you get ready for this. Not only was she married to this Caucasian Brad, but he passed away, right? He passed away. And for some odd reason, she wants to talk about how black men don't do nothing in relationships with Keisha. So if we don't do nothing, then who pays for your hair and who pays for your nails? We all know, Keisha, you're broke. You're always broke and you stay broke. That's why I call you. That's why brothers have coined the term broke Keisha. You're always broke. So where are you getting the money from? Black men are the ones who send you money to get your hair and your nails done. What about your bills? Isn't it always a simp who's always ready at the door, ready to pay your bills? Black men do it, right? Who take you out? You don't see Brad or Chad Thundercock taking them out on dates. You don't see Keisha doesn't get taken on dates with Chad Thundercock. She don't. You don't see it. But who do take him out on dates? Who do go out on dates with them? Black men. So why in the hell is she sitting here, a content that's supposed to be about her and Brad, and she's talking about black men? So this is why I dedicated this channel to you brothers. Because these Keishas are double agents. What do I mean by a double agent? The average Keisha in America plays both sides of the fence. One side, she wants to be loyal to her people. The other side, she can give a damn. She will do things that are in betterment for herself only and her desires. So there's one side being for your people, and the other side is strictly for herself. She plays both sides of the fence. And this Keisha, who has mongrel children, right, from a Chad Thundercock, she has mongrel children from a man who is our mortal enemy, black men, right? He's our mortal enemy. She decided to have children with him and still have the nerve to want to come back and do the reach back to black men. Most likely that brother may have rejected her, and that's why she's talking about us. So you claim that black men don't do anything. Yeah, if we got videos and videos and videos of you Keishas spending money and providing and taking care of a bummy Brad. But go and keep flapping your gums, girl. Go and keep flapping your gums. How black men don't do this. Black men don't do that. Black men are this. Black men are that. Keep flapping your gums. Let's keep listening.
Talk, they whine, they blame it on black women, and that's why we don't respect them. We don't respect them because they're all talk, they're all barking, no bite. All right? White men, that's different. White men running governments, white men run economies, white men make shit move.
She said white men run economies, white men making moves, right? This is how I know how ignorant you are of politics, Keisha. First of all, it's not that white men run economies and white men run governments, Keisha. It's rich satanic families run governments. Rich satanic families run the governments, right? They're the one that runs the politics. They're the ones who run the economy. Rich families. They have control over the whole world. And they fund all these different organizations, CIA, right? The FBI, Black Lives Matter, MS-13, the Church of Satan that was led by Anton LaVey. Rich families rule the world, Keisha. But this is slow Keisha. She's trying to use this in spite of black men. See, this is the intelligent level of your average Keisha in America. I'm gonna explain to y'all what is the average Keisha's mindset. They truly believe that 13 or 14% of a male population in the United States of America shall overrule and take out 60 to 70% of the world's population, of the United States American population, right? They believe that 13 has a power to take out the 50 to 60% world population, when this 13, 14%, and amongst this 13 and 14%, 6% are Israelite men, right? She believes, and just like most of these Keishas, that these 6% should rise up and take out, what, 50 to 60 to 70% of the United States population, who has more guns. They have the police system on their side, right? They have tanks, they have helicopters, they have thermonuclear warheads, they have gas tear gas, right? They have every weapon in disposal. What do black men have? We make up 13% of the population. Black men specifically make up 6% of the population in the United States of America. How in the hell do you expect 6% to run the economy? Because we know she's not talking about black men worldwide. She's talking about black men in America. So that's why I'm playing that game with her. How do you expect 6% of a demographic to take over 60 to 70% of people who is the major demographic, who has more weapons, a more intact community, right? And access to way more resources? How do you expect this to happen, Keisha? Really, how do you expect this to happen? And she claims whatever Chad Thundercock does, the world moves. Yeah, through corruption. Every society, every country around the world that this degenerate has set foot on, he has spread his degeneracy. And it's the irony that you just sit here to fix your mouth about black men, yet you're wearing the hair of another ethnic woman. This is the unmitigated gall and the irony and the lack of awareness that you Keishas have to always fix your mouth about black men. Yet, look at you. Weave, fake eyelashes, check. But you always want to talk about black men's inadequacy. So that's why I'm going to dedicate this channel to your inadequacy. Show you how much of a failure you are. Just keep listening.
All right, they do. Same thing with black women. Black women raise children. Black women are breadwinners.
No, they're not. No, you're not. The only time you're a breadwinner by statistic, Keisha, is when you're dealing with Pookies, when you're dealing with Six Dice Ikes, when you're dealing with rooftop trays. That's the only time you're a breadwinner. That's the only time. Vast majority of the time, you're not a breadwinner. As a matter of fact, to break down that statistic even further, loser, you're only a breadwinner because most of y'all are single mother households. There's no man in the picture. So who else could be the breadwinner? Who else can be? This is how slow, brothers, this is how slow they are. They're slow. They're absolute slow.
Black men are the most unemployed.
That's true.
Black women are leading education and career growth in this country. All right, we are doing it. The only reason why black men make slightly more than the average black woman is just pure misogyny.
Slow Keisha is slow. Do y'all hear what this Keisha said? So let's break this down. So remember what I told y'all. Remember, brothers, first of all, She says two important things in this conversation. And out of the 2 to 3 things, and out of the 3 main things, she was correct on one. Number one, black men are the most unemployed in the United States of America. That's a fact. The other two, right? The other two, you said you lead in education and career growth. That's not true. And number three, right? Sorry about that. And number three, she also said that black men only make slightly more money because of misogyny. What the hell is that? What is this open-ended, vague word salad that these women love to flop at their gums about? So let's break this down. For grateful women who brags about their education, how educated they are, how come your children grow up mentally retarded, basically? How come your children grow up under your tutelage, under your supervision, when you are the dominant figurehead in the households now since the 60s, right? How come your children are slow? How come they're reading on a 3rd or 4th grade educational level under your supervision? How come these children are born without any real wealth coming their way? How come these children are born in poor households, Keisha? Explain. This is under your tutelage. This is under your supervision. You're the ones running the household. How come these children are born in the most effed up situations? How come they're born on the system? Under your supervision. How can y'all brag consistently about education and your kids do the worst out of every demographic? How come you sit here and brag about your so-called education, right? You brag about your education so much, yet the average Keisha makes $34,000 a year. Y'all brag about your education, but you don't talk about wealth. The average of you is a loser. The average of you make $34,000 a year. You have been enslaved you've been trapped in this country for over 400 years. And the average of you don't even crack the $40,000 mark. The average of you make $34,000 a year. A year, folks. There's dudes who are janitors who make more money than you. There's those Latinas who be working in and out of all these restaurants around the world and these fast food joints. They're starting to make more money than you. And they just got the approval to flood the United States of America. And they're starting to outpace you. The average of you is a failure, and you're holding the race back. You lead in education, yet your earnings are trash. You lead in education, and you have the most consumer debt. You lead in education, and you have the most student loan debt. You're a failure, Keisha. An absolute failure. You've been in control and running this country, running this community for over 60 years, and all you have breed, all you have turned out, and all you have taught is failure. You're a failure. But you keep bragging about something where you're not winning in. You don't lead in education, Keisha. That's a lie. You're the most enrolled. Just because you're enrolled in college doesn't mean you're educated. And even then, I'm going to show you how more slow she is. When you get your job after you graduate, when you try to go on job interviews after you graduate, what is the first thing these employers ask? They ask for your experience. Not once do they ask about your college degree, because it doesn't matter. The average American almost has a bachelor's. A bachelor's degree is equivalent to a high school degree. You want to know why, Slow Keisha? You want to know why it's like that? It's because everyone floods to the United States of America from all walks of life, from coming from all different countries. They flood America, which is a highly competitive country, because they believe it's the way for them to get the best type of living, which is not even true anymore, right? A lot of people are struggling to get to that. They believe that you go to college, you come out of college, you get that nice paying job, you get that white picket fence and a nice home. That's not even true anymore. The average millennial is underemployed. Most millennials, my generation, are working jobs unrelated to their career field. But you want to fix your mouth and talk about how you lead in X, Y, and Z, but reality says otherwise. You're an absolute failure. Absolute failure. You failed as wives. You failed as mothers. You failed as teachers. You can't put none of this on black men. You wanted them out. You wanted the same men who you believe ain't shit, ain't worth it. You wanted them out. And the most funny thing about those men that you didn't want, other ethnic women want. So explain to me, Keisha, how do you make it feel when reality comes back and slaps you across the face? But you want to fix your mouth and talk about how black men don't do nothing. Black men don't run the world. Black men don't do this. Black men don't do that. Black men can't get far if he doesn't have a support system. Every ethnic group can get further because the woman supports them. You don't. You out for the betterment of yourself. That's why you keep talking about your education all the damn time. And yet you only make $34,000 a year on average. You're broke, dusty, and a failure. And then what was the last thing she said? Misogyny? So you're saying, hold on, Keisha. Let me explain to you what misogyny means, because we know how you don't. We know how you liberals are these days. Y'all like just throwing out words and it loses its meaning, like racism did. This is misogyny. It's the hatred of, contempt for, or prejudice against women or girls, right? It means contempt for or prejudice against women, right? For black men to be misogynist to you, there has to be a benefit for them to do it. What benefit does black men have hating you? What benefit? Where can we get hating the bottom of the barrel? Where can we get hatred of you to be able to out-earn you? Black men don't run anything, remember? We're broke, dusty, broken men who are conquered, right? So how can us hating you get you anywhere? How can you use that as an argument as a way to say that's why they make more money than us? No, Keisha. Black men, you said it earlier, because this is how dumb you can't remember half the stuff that flies out of your mouth. You said earlier, black men are the most unemployed, right? Which is a fact. A lot of black men are unemployed. We lead the United States of America in unemployment. We lead the United States of America in a prison industrial complex. We are locked up more than 7 countries combined here in the United States of America. We do. We are. A lot of black boys read on a 5th grade level, right? But you want to know something, Keisha? With all those things against us, all those negative things that we as black men can take onage and homage and honor it and wear it on our shoulders, knowing that, hey, we got something negative against us, but let's exceed past that. You know what that means, Keisha? For you and your ilk? That even with all those things that happen against us, we still make more money than you. We do. We still make more money than you. How does it feel that even a group of men who are the most handicapped still make more money than you? How? How can we still make more money than you? And yet we're the most handicapped. Does that show? And not only that, you get Section 8, You get welfare, you get TAF, you get food stamps, you get affirmative action. Because you're one of the first to get government jobs. You get all these benefits, and still, on average, black men still kick your asses. They still do. Which means what? You are a failure. You hold us back, not the other way around. You, Keisha's, hold us back. Black people have gone back 30 to 50 years in time. We are 50 years behind as a people because of you, Keisha, because of your selfish desires. You hold us back. So why in the hell should black men entertain these failures anymore?
It's not education. It's just misogyny. If misogyny did not exist, niggas would be making $30,000 a year. All right.
She claims that nigga. Y'all hear this? She said if it wasn't for misogyny, dudes would make $30,000 a year. And that's a lot of money to you, Keisha. She literally proved this statistic right. She literally proved it right. $30,000 is a lot of money to you. Didn't I tell you they're always broke? Didn't I tell you they're always broke? That's why you call them broke Keisha. They stay broke. They always broke. They always have to be broke. Always. So $30,000 to you is a lot. So that means, by your argument, if we make more money than you, slightly more money than you because of misogyny, right? And without misogyny, niggas would be making $30,000. So with misogyny, we make more money than you. Without misogyny, we'll be making $30,000. And you say that as oh, that's a lot of money. That means, Keisha, you make about $15,000 a year. And black men probably make like $19,000 by your argument. You're slow, broken, dusty. Y'all see what I mean when I talk about? Do y'all see what I mean when I talk about them? This is what I mean. And this is what TikTok has done. TikTok has given an avenue for these Keishas to get on the internet, women period, to get on the internet and run their mouth and to say the most dumbest shit you can think of, and no one has to challenge them. And they always turn off Stitch so you can't correct them. Thank God for the beauty of screen recording. I tell you that. This Keisha is a failure. I'm trying to tell you. You're a failure. And to give y'all a synopsis, a further thing I forgot to tell y'all about this Keisha, because she confessed it even, and other people have found out. Because I had to do my digging on her. So this Keisha, who claims, her white husband passed away, right? Which he did pass away. Here's what she forgot to leave out. Chad Thundercock divorced her before he passed away. What did I tell you? They're failures in everything. They're failures. They're absolute failures in everything. But they want to sit here and shit on black men. That's what Honey Bun, Rick Scorpio said it over a decade ago. He said it over a decade ago. You're going to regret the day when you're going to make black men your enemies. Well, guess what, Honey Bun? The Israelite Man's Coalition has arrived. And other brothers has arrived. You have made an enemy out of us. So if it's war you want, then goddamn it, Keisha, this is what war you're going to get.
They work because they understand each other. And they're not threatened by each other. Black women don't affect white men's ego the majority of the time when they're in a relationship.
I wonder why, because you don't test them. You don't try to test their masculinity. You don't test their rulership. You don't test their leading ability. But you do that to black men all the damn time. And you seem to forget your history. This is the same group of men who destroyed people who look like you. The same Keisha that's running around with weave and fake eyelashes, he's the one that put that image that women who look like you are not beautiful. Black men didn't do that. He did. And you went out to have children with that degenerate. Like I said, they play both sides of the fence. They do. They play both sides of the fence. That's why black men, you got to stay away from them. You cannot trust these race traders. They are agents of chaos. They are the agents of betrayal. You cannot trust somebody who doesn't believe in the best of her boys and to believe in the best of her community. You can't get nowhere with this. Black men, Israelite men, listen to the words I'm saying. Stay away from them. Don't help them with nothing. Don't provide for them with nothing. When you see them on the streets asking for money, ignore them. Treat them how Chad Thundercocks treats them. Simple as that. Treat them how white boys treat them. And I guarantee you, you're going to see how the way they treat you, black men, they're going to start treating you how they will treat white men. Trust and believe me, they're going to start respecting you. But the only way for them to respect you, black men, you have to treat them how Brad treats them. Anyway, that's enough of this heifer. I'm tired of staring at her. Shalom and peace. Look out for my newer videos.